All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I got another watch list for you, and now the dollar versus China. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a big deal this week, but if you missed what happened on Friday, it was already crazy. We are getting into December, and now where things go from here is going to be wild. So honestly, I got to start with two things. One, watch the dollar. I'm making this video before the futures are open, but I'm going to teach you something about it. It looks like the dollar is slightly up, but the other piece of news, it was China, and surprisingly, they are doing a lot of reopening measures here. That's what they announced over the weekend. So this dynamic is going to play out, but again, if you didn't watch Friday, man, I'm telling you, the bonds and how it played out, it was big. I thought it was very negative, and we're going to talk about that, but now we are going to have to deal with the end of the year, and a lot of bets are getting placed here. So, oh yeah, and don't forget, it's an even bigger week till next week, so I hope you're ready for it, but I got the plays for you. I got the recap, everything else you're going to need, so drop your thumbs up on the video, all of that, and just don't forget, I need your help, okay? We got the random account generator. This is your job right here. I need you to post a random option trade. Keep it below $100, strike price, expiration date, all of that. And we are going to pick a random play in the morning. So we need your help with it. And this is all the chat. It's actually not doing too bad. I'm kind of impressed with it. But in the meantime, too, I'll give you a couple of other things that happened over the weekend that people tagged me in. Bill Ackman, he deleted his past tweet kind of defending Sam Bankman and kind of went on a PR campaign. Just don't forget about Valiant, okay? That's the first one. CoffeeZilla, he ambushed Sam Bankman and had an interview. You should go watch it. It's very good. And then Billy Huang is like trying to get out of jail or dismissed of his charges. I know, it gets crazy. So poster play. I hope you guys are ready for it. I hope you are ready to fight. And again, next week is the big one, but where this plays out with China, dollar, bonds, and everything else, it should be exciting. So I hope you're ready and run it, baby.
Working to the couch, it's the 2020 legs. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then it feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the death.
All right, I think I'm getting a little too hyped, but right off the bat, I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably going to be a weird week because it is leading in to the giant week next week with CPI and Jerome Powell. So even though we watched the market sell off on Friday and then bounce right back, I don't know how aggressive it will be this week because in the back of everybody's minds, some people may want to trade the momentum and all of that, but there is a lot of money managers and people who are thinking, well, let's just wait one more week. So like I said, I thought the data was bad on Friday, and if you don't know why, it was because more jobs came in than expected. The participation rate went lower. The unemployment rate, that one stayed about the same, but the real big piece of news that I believed was negative was that the wages went up. And this is why I think it's bad, even though Powell addressed it a little bit before, but essentially, this is the whole wage price spiral argument, and that won't be negative. But coming into the weekend, a lot of people weren't focusing on it. And I'm telling you right now, whether it's bonds or equities, the narrative is going to be all about seasonality. Over the last 70 years, December is usually a strong month. A lot of people are talking about how people are waiting till the end of the year. Some people will take advantage of the tax sales. We even did a little bit of that too. We'll talk about it, but from bonds to equities, people are saying it's beginning to look a lot like, yeah, so we will see, but keep that in mind, and anything else can change, and that's why I'm telling you, just watch out. Anything jobs related, or if you start to hear more about a wage price spiral, that's what we'd be worried about. But the old adage goes, you know, 1 month does not make a trend, but every trend starts with 1 month. So that is key number one. Coming into key number two now, this is the main point I'm trying to say here because it's kind of a burn 1 week. We do have some data, but there was interesting pieces of news that should affect the dollar. So over the weekend, it was like 5 different areas in China, from Shanghai to Beijing, even Wuhan, but they are easing up on testing requirements and like reopening up. And this is very weird. Why? Because last week, a week and a half ago, it was like a very unprecedented protest, and that could have went a long, long way, and it could have been really bad. But to see the government of China kind of bending the knee, that is quite surprising. But keep this in mind now because this should weaken the yuan, or it should make the yuan stronger, but then that could weaken the dollar. But now if we're going to go up, the dollar should go down. And that here, before I get to the OPEC headline, that's one thing right here. Like I said, I'm not recording this while the futures are open, so we're going to see the only market that is open right now is Australia, Sydney. So based on that, it's looking like the dollar is slightly up, but who knows where it is by the time the bell rings tomorrow. But now this is what we want to watch out for. How is China or the Chinese yuan and the dollar? How is that going to play out? Because if China gets too good, that could slow the dollar down, and then vice versa, though. If anything develops from there, or if we notice the dollar is just that weak, it might make it even harder for China. It's quite interesting. Too hard to say anything now. It's not anything concrete, but just keep your eyes out for it. And then over the weekend as well, you were going to get that OPEC meeting, and OPEC decided to keep the output the same. Even though there was rumors they would raise it, even though people are worried about the price going down, they are chilling. And then again, anything related to China, that and reopening, that will affect the commodities. And now coming into tomorrow on Monday, a lot of those old Russia sanctions and the transportation and insurance things, those are going to come into play. So let's watch how it plays out. But commodities, oil, everything from China to that, they're all going to have a lot of pressure playing back and forth off of each other. So keep those in mind. But that is key number 2. And then finally, the final data for the rest of the week. You're going to get the PPI tomorrow on Monday. That has some inflation gauge or price gauge to it, so that could be important. The jobless claims are going to be on Thursday, and then after this jobs report, we'll see how that plays out. But the stronger the jobs data is, or if you see any signs of prices going up, wages going up, that would be a negative. And then finally on Friday, I think this will probably be the biggest set of data, but other things will probably outweigh it depending on how it plays out. But consumer sentiment on Friday, and there will be a consumer sentiment expectation on inflation. So keep all that in mind, but it's all in caps, man. All that matters is going to be next week. All you have to do is fight till then, and then we get this CPI. Then we hear the last Jerome Powell by the end of the year, and then you will know whether or not it's going to be Grinch or Sin. I was going to say Cole. I don't know, but let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, we made a ton of plays on Friday. And actually, I'm going to start here with Disney, or maybe let's go to what we did, because I want to explain something very simple. I say it every single year, and I didn't do this last year, but we've talked a lot about the taxes. So why I'm bringing this up is so that you could go consult with a tax professional, but I cut out a lot of plays. So plays I got washed on from 2 years ago, like Sam and Spotify, I took the losses on those. Anything that was negative and olds, even some were kind of new, like TGL and MGAM, I got out of them. I'm going to keep an idea on these prices because I could buy back into it. But a lot of people are like, wait, what's the whole idea with taxes? Do I need this? Do I need that? What about trader status? Whatever it is, again, go consult with the tax professional. And none of this is a recommendation. And stocks, options, everything, I'm not a tax. Yeah, you already know what it is. But I could break it down very, very simple. It's just your total realized gain by the end of the year. Do you want to have a profit or do you want to have a loss? So if you've been watching, we've done very, very good on the futures over the last couple of months. And the last quarter was about $50,000, $60,000. I think a little bit more in net profits, but take that amount, and then by taking these losses like Spotify and Sam, those are 20 grand a pop each, and those are from 2 years ago. But by booking the loss today, even though I could have made $60,000 in the last couple of months, now my net would be $20,000 if I only took $40,000 of losses. So keep this in mind, because essentially, even though we made money this year by taking older losses, it's going to say I either didn't make as much or not, but your account should be able to reflect, accordingly. But again, go talk to your tax professional. But now that's where a majority of these plays are coming from. But on Friday, how we opened up and played it. So I'm telling you, I still stand by it. I think the data was really bad. I did not like the wage price spiral or the wages going up, but it's only 1 month, so I did some couple of trades in the middle of the night. You can see right there, but I opened up the day with an MNQ short because I was like, okay, it's bad. Within a minute, I started with 2 small NASDAQ shorts, and then I opened up a short on bonds like 3 minutes later, because I'm saying here, if this was going to be bad, it should kill the rally on bonds as people get worried about the rates and all of that. But again, there's a ton of different phenomena going on with bonds right now, end of the year, and even if people are buying it because they're scared, but we'll talk about that on stream. But I'm still holding that one. Then I waited about 13 minutes. I was going for about 15 minutes after the release, and it was a very weird one because we really didn't do much, and then you had this little pop and lock. But I opened up a short on the big ES, And then as the market opened up, I just started flipping the NQ. So I held all my shorts, bonds, MNQ, and ES, and then we just started going over here to the NQ. I made a couple $100 on that one. Then I sold out of my Boeing, and we should have held it. It would have been crazy, but I'm out of the Boeing now. And then really, while I was holding the shorts, you guys have seen me do this now probably 3, 4, 5 months in a row. Anytime we've dealt with the futures on the data, went short on the other ones, would go long, and then I made sure I flipped it out. But go look at some of these prices. We went over it on Friday. It was a borderline perfect day, a lot of good entries and exits. So essentially by the end of the day, I closed out of the ES, the one from the morning. I took about like a $2,600 loss and then another $900 loss on the MNQ. I'm still down on the /ZNH. That is the 10-year bond. But just by hitting the flips in the meantime, I was able to make $4,500 on that one. So I figured, hey, let me just close out everything and reset. So believe it or not now, even with the tax losses and all of that, I'm coming into this week only holding a short on the bonds, but we're going to get into that. So those were the only plays that we made on Friday. Again, if you have any questions, come on tomorrow and talk about it. But it was a wild day, and I don't think what we got from the non-farms is done just yet. But as far as the first play I'm going to be looking at coming into tomorrow, I'm already in it. I've been talking about averaging down, and I've yet to do it. But Disney, they had news over the weekend that some Florida lawmakers are looking to restore some of their privileges that the state took away earlier this year. Remember, there was that like Disney tax zone or whatever. They had a lot of good benefits in Florida, and then people were getting mad about the politics and what Disney was doing, what Disney wasn't doing, then the government. But now they got Bob Iger back, and this could be very bullish. So they've been announcing a lot of bullish stuff here, from the cost cutting to now this. So we'll see how it plays out. I really hope it has a big effect. But like I've been saying, anytime I brought up Disney on the watch list, it has been moving a little bit weird. And from 80 to like 98, that's already a big move. So we'll see. I still got my 100 shares. Going to be watching that one tomorrow. And then play number 2. I actually like this one a lot, and I have not played it this whole time. But Microsoft and Activision, but specifically Activision, Microsoft said they are ready to fight for their deal. And the way I'm looking at it, if there's already been some of the challenges and Microsoft's like, nah, we're going to do it. I mean, Buffett believes, and just like the way Sam Bankman has already played out, maybe Activision is going to go through. So I'm going to look at a play on this. I don't own anything. I'm not fully sold on it, but I want to see how the market takes it. If it has too big of a premium tomorrow, don't touch it, but we'll see. It could be a decent arbitrage play by the end of the year, and especially if we're still waiting on bigger data to really confirm the bulk of the moves and where the market's going. But keep your eyes out for that. I think it's going to be a big one. That is number 2. And then finally, play number 3, baby. /ZN, TBT, TLT, IEF, any bond play you could think of on the long end, not the short end. So like Shy, that will be different, but I hope you see it here, man. It's get rich or die trying, man. The bonds, that's it. They're either going to run up or they are going to die. And just the volatility right now is huge. So I think there's going to be a big chance that the bonds are going to move more than anything. Even if you've seen the divergence between the 10-year and the S&P 500, if anything, bonds are still lagging behind the market. So if we spend this week doing nothing, maybe this is the opportunity for the bonds to come in there. And then a lot of people are getting worried about the economy, and some people are saying, well, maybe that's why we're getting this crazy demand we're seeing on bonds. I think it is either way. It's not about one way. Last week, we front ran it. We were into the upside. We made a lot on the upside. And then now after the data, I wanted to go short to kind of, match what I thought would happen. But I'm still holding it, and I think we're going to get a lot of plays back and forth. So if you want something to trade, especially if we're waiting for the data and nothing happens, I really think this is going to be a good place to keep your eyes on. So watch out for that. Those are the main plays. As far as everything else now, definitely not holding as many plays. I still got that micro short from like the first rally. Again, this one was smaller, only down 1,300. Really, my plan to either get out of it is just ride it through, or if I could really think it's about to get negative, I'm just going to like triple, quadruple average down on it and try to get out of it in a flip. But not too worried about that one. There's the bond play again. They worked me for the $1,000 there. It's unrealized, so we're still holding that coming into tomorrow. The Carvana play still down 55. This one was supposed to be a quick flip, so I'm just hoping it could go green and we could get out of it by this week. Disney, he just needs to come to life. I re-shorted. I added another 100 shares of Meta. Again, he was the outperformer for the last couple of days. I'm hoping it gives some back, and that was the logic even on like Uber and Boeing. And if you guys remember that on Friday, go look what happened, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I thought Meta would also fall in line, but still short on that one. PRVB, we're still riding that out. Again, we have not heard from Sanofi yet. And then Qualcomm, this one I'm still down on. And like I told you, I'm waiting for the bigger play there, or the average down at 150. Otherwise, down to hold it here in the meantime, and we will see how the end of the year and everything else provides. But that is everything. I think is going to be an exciting week, but it's really all about staying alive. Don't get too tempted into bad trades, and just remember, man, after this week, that's it. That's going to finalize everything until 2023, and it's going to get crazy. So I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, baby, it's hard to stand up. It's hard to stand up straight. You know, like, think about it. You know, if you try to sit up straight, you get sore sometimes. Are you hunching over right now? Come on, chest to the sun. Yeah. Now imagine if you wanted to stand up straight and trading. Imagine if you wanted to work on your trading posture. Oh, stop playing with me, Chad. You need discipline coming into the end of the year. You need it to get you through 2023. You need to get focused. And remember, it is designed to frustrate you. Do not let it throw you off your game. Hey, man, there's a couple of quarters. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't do good now, you could always bring it back. But don't take yourself out the game mentally. And let's go, baby. Work on that trading posture. But I love you, Chad. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, man, it was a glorious weekend. It's good to be back. Are you ready? I'm ready, bro. Are you ready? Are you? Okay, I love you, Chad. Have a wonderful night. Drink water, sleep good, and God bless you. Finger to the sky. Horde.